In this section, we are going to speak about limits at infinity. Before we go to limits at infinity, we need to get an idea about the function f of x, which is equal to 1 of x. At 1, it's 1, and when you approach 0, it will be going to plus infinity, which infinity will be 0. At minus 1, it's minus 1, and at infinity will be infinity, when by 0 from left, it will be infinity. This will be summarized in the following points. Limit when x goes to 0 from right of 1 over x will be plus infinity. That is when I go to 0 from right, it will be plus infinity. Limit when x goes to 0 from left of 1 over x. If I go to 0 from left, I will be at minus infinity. And when I go to plus infinity, 1 over x will shrink to 0. The height is going closer to 0, which is the x-axis. Similarly, when x goes to minus infinity, 1 over x will go to 0. This will lead to a theorem when x goes to infinity, or plus or minus infinity of any polynomial. Only the largest power will affect, which means to prove that idea, if I take x to the power n common factor, so I will get limit when x goes to plus or minus infinity. We take the xn to be a common factor, so it will be an sub minus 1 over x, an minus 2x squared, and so on until I reach a1 over x to the power n minus 1 and a0 over x to the power n. If n goes to infinity, all of these will go to 0. So we will end up with limit when x goes to plus or minus infinity of a and x raised to the power n. This is extremely important idea. This is summarized here. Limit when x goes to infinity is 0, when it goes to minus infinity is 0, and the largest power, we take only the largest power, which is a and x to the power n. If x goes to 0 from right, 1 over x to plus infinity. When x goes to 0 from left, it will be again minus infinity. Let's apply this idea in a questions. Now, when I have limit, when x goes to infinity, I have x plus 4x cubed divided by 1 minus x squared plus 7x cubed. I'll take only the largest power. So the largest power in the first one is 4x cubed. The largest power in the denominator is 7x cubed. So these will cancel and I will have 4 over 7. Now, when I have limit when x goes to infinity, square root of 9x squared minus 2 divided by 3x plus 4, taking the largest power. In the first one, which is under the root, it will be 9x squared. And in the denominator, I have 3x. I have to be careful here when dealing with square root. Square root of 9 is 3, but square root of x squared, it's absolute value of x over 3x. 3 is going to cancel with the 3. Remember, always square root of x squared is absolute value of x, and in math one we say the absolute value of x would be x if x is positive, and negative x if x is smaller than 0. Since we are at plus infinity, means our x is positive, so I will have absolute value of x is equal to x, and x over x will be 1. But in this case, where I have minus infinity, square root of 9x squared minus 2 divided by 3x plus 4, as we said, we take only the largest power, so it will be square root of 9 square root of x squared and 3x. Square root of 9, we know it is equal to 3, but square root of x squared, it's absolute value of x. Now, absolute value of x is x if x is positive, and negative x if x is negative. Now, x at minus infinity is negative, so we will have absolute value of x is minus x over x, which is equal to minus 1. Remember always, square root of x squared, it's absolute value of x, because the rule says the following: nth root of x to the power n, it's absolute value of x if n is even. 2, 4, 6, and so on. And it will be just x if n is odd, like 3, 5, and so on. Now, in this example, we have limit when x goes to infinity of 3x plus 4 all to the power 2, x minus 1 to the power 3, 2x plus 7 to the power 4, and 1 minus 2x. So we go to each one, we take the largest power. So I have here, inside each bracket, I'm taking the largest power. So inside here, 3x is the largest power. Inside here, x is the largest power. Here, it's 2x is the largest power. Here, it's minus 2x is the largest power. Now we need to apply a few rules from Math 1. If I have a to the power n, x to the power m, when I raise it to a new power, I need to distribute and multiply n times k and m times k. The second rule, if I have x to the power n times x to the power m, we are adding the powers. And the third rule, x to the power n over x to the power m, we make difference of powers. These are the three rules which are extremely important from Math 1. So here I will have 3 squared x squared times x cubed. And here I will have 2 raised to the power 4 times x to the power 4 times minus 2 times x. So that will be limit when x goes to infinity. I will have here 9 and x to the power 2 plus 3, which is applying the second rule there. And I have 16 times minus 2, it's minus 32, and 4 plus 1, it's 5. So x to the power 5 is cancelled. So I will get minus 9 over 32. Now, we have here, typo mistake, let me correct it. That's a cubic root of x. And here you need to remember, cubic root of x cubed, it's fine, just x. So when we have a solution limit when x goes to minus infinity, cubic root of 2 plus 3x minus 27x squared, 1 plus 8x squared. The largest power is minus 27x squared. The largest power here, it's 8x squared. Now, x squared is going to cancel with 8x squared. So what you will get is a cubic root of minus 27 over 8, which is minus 3 over 2. Now, here we have limit when x goes to infinity, square root of x squared minus 3x minus x. Remember here, infinity minus infinity does not equal to 0. So to treat this problem, we need to multiply by conjugate to remove the root. To get rid from the root, we multiply by the conjugate, which is square root of x squared minus 3x plus x. Same thing here, x squared minus 3x plus x. When I multiply by conjugate, what will happen? Square of the first is x squared minus 3x minus square of the second is x squared. We take only the largest power here, which is x squared plus x. So that will be limit when x goes to infinity, minus 3x here, absolute value of x, plus x. X at infinity, we know absolute value of x will be x if x is positive. And we have it plus infinity, so it will be positive. So that will be limit when x goes to infinity of minus 3x. Absolute value of x will be x plus x. So that will be limit when x goes to plus infinity of minus 3x divided by 2x. So we will get minus 3 over 2. Now, for limit when x goes to minus infinity, we have to be careful now. That is x to the power 6 plus 5x cubed plus x cubed. We need to multiply again by the conjugate. So it will be x to the power 6 plus 5x cubed minus x cubed. Of course, we need to multiply numerator and denominator. So that will be equal to limit when x goes to minus infinity. Square of the first is x to the power 6 plus 5x cubed minus x to the power 6. The reason, because x cubed, when you square it, you multiply the powers. 2 times 3. Here we take the largest power, which is x to the power 6 minus x cubed. Now, we have to be careful when we deal with square root. Square root of x to the power 6 is absolute value of x to the power 3. And here I will have 5x cubed because x to the power 6 minus x to the power 6 is 0. Now, absolute value of x cubed, what is it according to math 1? It will be negative x cubed because x is smaller than 0. When we say at minus infinity, our x is negative. So I will get that as x goes to minus infinity, 5x cubed minus x cubed minus x cubed, which is limit when x goes to minus infinity, 5x cubed over minus 2x cubed, which will be, at the end of the day, it's minus 5 over 2. Now, when we have limit when x goes to infinity of x minus 2 over x squared plus 2x minus 6, we take the largest power only in each. So here it will be x, here it will be x squared. So that's limit when x goes to infinity of 1 over x, which will be 0. Now, similarly, when x goes to infinity of 7 minus 6x to the power 5 over x plus 3, that will be limit when x goes to infinity, power 5, largest power here is x. So that will be limit when x goes to infinity of minus 6x to the power 4, because it's x to the power 5 over x. It's 5 minus 1, which is x to the power 4. Now, we know when x goes to infinity, x to the power 4 also will go to infinity, but multiplied with negative 6, so it will be minus infinity. Now, if I have limit when x goes to minus infinity of square root 3x to the power 4 plus x divided by x squared minus 8, that will be equal to limit when x goes to minus infinity, that is square root of 3 x to the power 4. First, we take over x squared because we take only the largest power in each. So the largest power here is 3x to the power 4. When I apply root, it will be square root of 3 square root of what? 4 divided by 2. So it will be square root of x squared over x squared. Now, absolute value of x squared will be x squared because all the time when you square x, x will be positive. So because the square always make it positive. So I will get limit when x goes to minus infinity, it will be square root of 3x squared over x squared. So I will get square root of 3. Now, if I have limit when x goes to 2, when I factor x squared minus 4, the one which makes denominator 0 does not disappear. That's why I need to consider it right if with that one. Look here, once you are dividing by 0, the denominator only 0, we know it will blow up to plus infinity or minus infinity. So it's our job actually is only to know positive or negative. So from left, I am actually at 1.9999, very close to 2 from left. So this will be positive, and that will be negative. That will be positive. So what's the total? Will be negative. But when I say limit when x goes to, sorry, that's this one. When I'm speaking about from left, so this is positive because 1.99. That's negative because 1.99 minus 2, that's positive, so I will get here negative. When I'm at 2 from right, means 2.0001, that will be positive. That will be positive again, and that will be positive, so I'll get plus infinity. So what's my conclusion for the limit when x goes to 2? Then I will say, since limit from left does not equal to limit from right, so we could say this is does not exist. Now, getting the same idea again, if I have limit when x goes to minus 2, I have here x divided by x squared minus 4. I will consider it again from left because x plus 2 from the denominator. When I factorize this one, still this will make it 0. So I'll consider it from left and from right. Now, considering it from left, this is minus 2. If I consider it from left, it will be minus 2.0001. If that will be negative, and that will be negative, and that will be negative, so totally I'll get negative infinity. If I consider it from right, like minus 1.999, here it will be negative, here it will be negative, but here it will be positive, so it will be plus infinity. My conclusion for x going to minus 2, for x over x minus 2 times x plus 2, again, does not exist. They are not equal. Now, similarly, we have here limit when x goes to 3. I have x squared minus 9 divided by x minus 3 all to the power 3 times x minus, and simplify. You will get x minus 3 times x plus 3 first squared minus second squared divided by x minus 3 all to the power 3 times x minus 4. This can be simplified at most to x plus 3 divided by x minus 3 all squared times x minus 4. Now, since I did not get rid of from the 0, which makes denominator equal to 0, which is x equal to 3, I must take it from left. Now, if I take it from left, this is a 3. From left means, let's say 2.99. So that will be positive, and that will be positive because it is square. That will be negative, so it will be negative infinity. If I consider it from right, like 3.1, so 3.1, that will be positive. That will be positive because it is squared, but that still will be negative, so I'll get negative infinity. So what's the limit when x goes to 3 then of x plus 3 over x minus 3 all squared times x minus 4? That will be equal to, we could say minus infinity, but still this, we don't call it exist. We still call it doesn't exist because exist means going to a constant real number. If x goes to plus infinity of 2x cubed minus 100x plus 5, we take only the largest power, which is 2x cubed. So if this is going to infinity, 2 times infinity still will be infinity. The last question here, we have to understand what's given to us. Here we have 0. If it is before 0, it's 2x squared plus 5. If it is more than 0, it will be 3 minus 5x cubed. So when he asked me about x, I should select to the left of 0, which is 2x squared plus 5. Of course, that's we take only the largest power 2x squared, so it will be plus infinity because when we square it becomes positive. B, when he wants limit, when we have to consider the one in the right of 0, which is 3 minus 5x cubed over 1 plus 4x plus x cubed. So that will be limit when x goes to plus infinity of minus 5x cubed largest power over x cubed. So you will get minus 5. Okay? Because x cubed is cancelled with x cubed. Now, the last thing is 0. We have to approach 0 from left first. And if we approach 0 from left, the part of the function, it's 2x squared plus 5, so I get 5. And if I approach 0 from right, then 0 from right, it's this function. So it is 3 minus 5x cubed over 1 plus 4x plus x cubed. If you put 0, that will be 3. If you put 0, that will be 1. So that is a 3. Since they are not equal, we say limit when x goes to 0 for the function f of x does not exist. This will end up our section limits with the infinite number. Thank you for listening.